I'm Sarah Shatwell from the Staff Counselling and Employee Assistance Programme here at the R.U.H., and this is my colleague Alison, who is one of our lovely counsellors here in the service, and she's agreed to help me out today with today's film. So this is the Thursday piece for Kindness Week here at the R.U.H., and today we're going to be talking about kindness in conversation, or in other words, how we might approach talking to someone if we're worried about their mental health. So I'm going to talk you through, with Alison's help, the acronym A.L.G.E.E, which we use within the longer mental health first aid training that we do within the service. It's a really useful way to sort of guide you through having a conversation with someone who might be struggling. So I'm just going to test this out with Alison and see how we get on. Okay, so the A in A.L.G.E.E is all about approach, assess and assist. So here goes. Oh, Alison, I'm really glad that we're able to just have a cup of tea today. It's been so busy lately, hasn't it? And I just wanted to spend a few minutes really having a cup of tea and a catch up with you, because I've noticed lately that you don't seem yourself, and I don't want to pry, but I just wondered whether there was anything going on for you.
Well, yeah, I have to say I have been feeling a bit overwhelmed. Seems like you may have noticed. Feels quite hard to say because obviously I want to feel that I am coping at work.
Yeah.
But I have got quite a lot of pressures, I guess, going on outside work.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of change at work, but also a lot of pressures outside, and so I have been finding it quite difficult, been struggling a little bit.
Well, yeah, I thought that might be the case, and like I say, I didn't want to pry, but just thought if we took 5 minutes to have a cup of tea, you might feel that it was okay to sort of share a bit of what's going on for you.
Well,
so
thanks for noticing.
Yeah, what's been happening?
Well, my husband's not been well, and that's been a worry, and I've got a mother I need to support, who is okay but needs quite a lot of emotional support.
Yeah.
And then I've got a daughter who's just about to finish university, really worried about the dissertation, and is living at home at the moment. So it feels like my time is really pressured and
got a lot on your plate by the sounds of it.
And it does feel like that.
Yeah.
Actually, that's I've just been feeling a bit unusually overwhelmed.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that with me. Okay. Going to move on now. So we've sort of made the approach, just found a quiet space to have a cup of tea with Alison and just gently explore, what might be going on for her. And thankfully she's opened up a little bit. So we're going to move on to the L of A.L.G.E.E, which is listen and communicate non-judgmentally. So the aim here is literally just to listen, not to try and offer solutions or interrupt too much, but to just give some, small signs that I'm listening, I'm interested, and encourage Alison to open up a little bit more and tell me what's going on for her. Oh, Alison, it really sounds like you've got a lot going on. How long has this all been kind of affecting you?
Well, my husband's having some treatment for illness. I think you know that he hadn't been well, and but more recently he's just been finding it more and more difficult to continue working, so that prevents that. So financial issues are presenting themselves. So because he's stressed, that means that's difficult as well. And I mean, it's not life-threatening, but it's just, he's in quite a lot of pain. I mean, my sleep's been affected, and not just by that really, but just by worry really. I find I'm waking up in the night, sometimes 3 o'clock, and then I'll have a few hours awake. And then it's difficult to know whether to get up or whether to stay in bed. And then when I wake up in the morning, I feel tired, and it's hard coming into work.
You've looked a bit tired lately,
Yeah.
No, I've just been aware of that,
and it just coming into work and feeling that it's a bit harder to concentrate. And it's sometimes, perhaps outside work, not wanting to be in contact with people, just wanting to sort of...
Feeling a bit withdrawn. Okay.
And probably, not so much work, but perhaps a bit more tearful, perhaps feeling a little bit teary at times. Just... I think it's the whole situation. It's not one thing. It just feels like everything is under pressure at the moment. And I feel I'm not used to not coping.
Normally, I mean, I know you. I've worked with you for quite a while. I know that you're a coper normally. Okay.
So, and I'm, in a way, it's quite a relief to talk about it, to actually tell you.
Well, that's good. Okay, I'm glad that feels good. Don't forget your tea, Alison.
No, thank you.
Okay, so we're going to move on now to the G in A.L.G.E.E, which is give information and reassurance. Okay, so Alison, I'm really glad that you felt able to talk to me today, because I have been a bit concerned about you, and I suppose I just wanted to say that, given everything that you've spoken about just now, it's no wonder that you're struggling, and it's no wonder that you're having some sleepless nights. And I did a bit of mental health training last year, and they said on that course that it's really, really common for people to struggle with their mental health, especially if there's lots of stresses and strains going on, like there are for you, looking after your mum, your husband not being well, and the financial impacts, and then obviously looking after, thinking about your daughter's future as well. So if you're not sleeping and you're feeling tearful and not feeling like you want to sort of have much contact with people, that's really, really normal. So just to kind of reassure you really. And also what I learned is that recovery from common mental health problems is really likely and possible, but we probably need to think about what might be possible to sort of help you really.
Yes, I don't want to keep sort of bursting into tears. I also want to get my sleep back, because it means that I think that then creates feelings of anxiety. I sort of wake up feeling a bit, can I cope with the day feeling?
A bit dread.
That dread feeling. So yes, and it doesn't feel like I can carry on quite, carry on working to the same degree if this carries on.
So you're starting to notice it impacting. Okay, well I'm going to pause us there, because that really nicely moves us on to the first E of A.L.G.E.E, which is about encouraging professional help. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do next with Alison. So it sounds like you're really up for getting some help, and I don't know, do you have a good relationship with your GP? Have you been to see?
Yes,
so that,
I do. I don't rarely go.
Because you're normally really healthy, aren't you? And but that might be something worth thinking about. But also, there's really good support available here at the RUH. The EAP service is amazing. I've had really good, heard really good stuff about it. So, and that's one of the things that I've learned as well. And you've just said it as well, that talking can really help.
It does feel a relief to share it, actually.
And especially if it's someone who's professionally trained, and it perhaps makes it easier to feel like you're not kind of burdening someone, because those professionals are there. So definitely, that might be something to think about. Or it might even be that there are kind of online things as well that I could help you look if you wanted. But it feels like maybe a bit of professional support would be what's needed at the moment. What do you think about that?
I think maybe looking at my sleep would be maybe, as you mentioned the GP, I wonder if it would be helpful to just get something if you have too many nights not sleeping, to feel that there's something
really grind you
down. I could even maybe talking to someone about some strategies I could use for helping, but also perhaps having, because it is sometimes quite hard to talk to friends, and because they've got their own things going on, and they're quite busy at the moment. So maybe talking to somebody might be helpful.
Yeah.
Although it's sometimes hard to make that space, it's perhaps important that I do.
Yeah, it feels important to sort of try and put yourself first at the moment. Like you say, you kind of worrying about things getting worse, and you know, you don't want that to happen.
No.
So that brings me finally on to the last one, the last E in A.L.G.E.E, which is encourage other supports. And that's all about encouraging people to use their existing social support networks, whether that's friends or family. And often when people are low, feeling down, that's, you know, like Alison said, one of the things that we feel less like doing, but actually it's really important to try and keep those social supports in place. So you're obviously providing a lot of support to your husband and to your mum and to your daughter at the moment. Who's there for you? Who else is there in your social network?
Well, I do have good friends, and some family, extended family members, and I know I'm not always very good at asking for help.
Who is, yeah.
So I guess perhaps I could make a bit more effort to contact friends that I know are good listeners, good supports, and making time for that really, and maybe even booking that in ahead a bit rather than making a time, committing to a time rather than ad hoc. It can be quite hard. So I think there are friends I could ask.
That's good, yeah, because I'm sure they'd want to know as well if you were struggling, and you know, they'd want to help. Yeah, good friends do, don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, are you still in that running club that you used to go to?
Yes, I am in the running club, and and that's a good thing to keep going with, I think, because it's a getting out, it's being with my environment, but it's also, and that keeping fit, but it's also a bit of a change really, and again it's something maybe I can commit to. So I am trying to do that. It has slid a little bit recently, but perhaps
understandable.
Getting back to that might be quite useful actually.
Give yourself a bit of time out and do those things that you've enjoyed doing in the past. That's brilliant. Thank you, Alison.
Thank you.
Okay, so hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of A.L.G.E.E and how to use that useful acronym to kind of guide a conversation with someone that might be struggling. Before we finish, I just want to say that Alison was role-playing there. That wasn't her own stuff going on for her, and neither was she sharing anything that she's heard in the context of the EAP service. So it is confidential. She's just been really helpful to guide us both through that process, and hopefully that's been helpful for you as well. So thank you, Alison.
Thank you.
And thanks for sharing that kind of being kindness conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you.